Good afternoon, guys. What a day it has been on the markets. So let's get into today's trades for me. So coming into London session, I didn't have a fixed buyer, so I was just waiting to see what the market did purely because of this massive rally up during a session this morning. From there, I was then looking to see how London opened quite quietly for London, and then had a huge move up. Essentially, I was waiting for a continuation of this trend higher up, um, which is why I saw this inversion. Right, this inversion here, Trump announced something because I had a limit order, and my limit order was set off of this fair value gap here being inverted. My actual entry was set to be on this level here, 6399. However, when Trump announced something, the impact of what he said off of this candle actually got me filled here on this level here. So once I was filled, I thought, okay, there's quite a lot of volatility in this market because of what he said. As soon as I'm in profit, I'm going to go break even because if it had stopped me out, it could have been quite a heavy loss plus the slippage. As you can see, I went break even on off this candle close here off of this one, and as you can see on this candle, it took me out. So that was obviously a 0R trade to start the day off. Then the rest of London, it moved. It was unpredictable, but I just thought it's better to wait till New York and wait for something clean to present, which, as you can see, was probably a good idea because big announcement again. This wasn't price action I wanted to expose my account to. So that was a break-even trade for today, as you can see on my entry and my exit. But it was valid because we had the inversion. We swept this trend line liquidity here, reacted off of the 200-day EMA, and we were in line with the overall trend, which, as you can see, was bullish. So it was a valid trade, and obviously it was a break-even. So then we came into New York here, as you can see, and this time I was looking for the same sort of setup, really, to be honest. So as you can see, we'd swept the previous session's high, London. We also swept previous New York, previous London as well throughout the session. But for this first trade, it was only these two here. Once I saw these sweeps, I was looking for higher time frame fair value gap reaction, which we did have from over here and also from here as well and here. So from there, I was waiting for the candle close, which, as you can see, we had on this candle. However, because it was a bit overextended, I wanted a better fill, so I set a limit order here on this level for this fair value gap here. As you can see, price tagged me in on this candle, selling short, and then within two candles, stopped me out. Risk 25 on this trade and lost 25 on this trade, so it's a 1-hour loss, which was fine for me because I was already break even from the previous day, from the previous session. So London session here, risk 25 again to make 25. Didn't work out, break even was fine. And my general rule is that if I get to the New York session, I've already had two trades. I normally won't trade a third time, especially if I've lost as well. However, because I've worked out my risk for my whole cash account at the moment, I know that I have 20 trades of risking 25 to be wrong. So I then came back into the market once I'd reset my psychology, which I didn't lose anyway, but just to give myself a breather from the loss. And as you can see here, we had come up even further, taken out previous London and previous New York here, and we also had swept some internal liquidity here. We also reacted off of a 2, 3, 4, and 5 minute fair value gap here, which was another reason for me looking for this short. Once I had this short placed, I then identified that we had a bit of an AMD structure. So as you can see, from this point until here, up here, we had consolidated. We then had the manipulation leg up here, and then the distribution leg coming down, as you can see. What I was looking for was inversion, and as you can see here, this fair value gap got inverted, and again I set a limit order here to get a better fill. The pricing came back up, tapped me in, and I was in drawdown for about 20 minutes. However, as you can see, price eventually sold off and hit my 40p. This was a very good setup for me because it also aligned with the higher time frames. As you can see on the 4-hour chart, we had swept a lot of 4-hourly highs. As you can see here, we reacted off a 4-hour fair value gap. We also swept these 4-hour highs from the current day. And then from there, on the hourly chart, the same sort of story again. On the 15, the same story, but we acted off of a fair value gap here, 50-minute fair value gap as well. And on the 5, the same thing again. We inverted this massive fair value gap, which was here in the middle, as well as taking out previous range highs and also reacting off the 5 here and here. And then obviously I was waiting. And then once I got in the trade on the 1-minute chart here, I used the 5-minute and the higher time frames to manage the trade. And very simply, once I saw this retracement here, I knew we were in a 1-minute silver bullet sort of play. Broke up below this low here, retracement into the short. And then once I saw price putting this lower high and this lower low here, I then knew that I had the right directional bias for this trade. Then from there, I was simply managing this coming low. Once this gap here got inverted on the 5 and on the 15, I moved my stop to break even. So I was here. Once I was break even, I scaled back into the 1-minute chart, put my I tried to stop down, so my stop was on this high first here, then this high here. Then once I got to this high, I just let the market move and do its thing. When I was at this high, I had covered my loss from here, so either way, I would have been break even on the day. However, it was nice to see this trade play out for a 2.18R win. So break even during London, little 1R loss during New York, then made it back with a 2.18R win. Can't complain really, can you? So yeah, we go again tomorrow. Hope everyone caught some good trades today. If not, I hope you managed risk well. As you can see, live. It's a live account, live broker. Account margins here. And as you can see, here are the trades. So you can see I've actually taken them all here today. So yeah, very nice trade, and I'll see you later for the next one. Have a good evening and see you tomorrow.